right, everybody, welcome back. Sunday, May 21st, the Sports Clash is here. We'll be out Monday morning, but we're here to recap a crazy weekend of sports and just, shoot the shit. Like always, Chris, how you doing?
Good, man. What's up?
No, not much. I've been very picky with my bets lately because I just was on such a cooler, just lost my bankroll that I had built up for quite some time. Just kind of got depleted. I had a little bit left, and I've just been picking my spots. And I was watching Kepka today at the PGA Championship, and I was like waiting for the right time to just get better odds, and I had a little boost on DraftKings, and I was just waiting, and I waited too long, and then he just pulled away and didn't pull the trigger, and then I decided to chase that feeling with Cleveland money line tonight with a little boost, and I'm regretting it currently. I mean, it's 1-1. Jose Ramirez had great numbers against Verlander career, so that was my go. And he had a homer first inning. I'm like, all right, here we go. And the Guardians just have a terrible offense. And the Mets are on a roll right now. They're on fire. I really thought, the old adage, doubleheader. It's tough to sweep a doubleheader. Really thought the Guardians had. I mean, it's still tied, but I don't know. We'll see. As you said.
Yeah, let's go back to the PGA. You might have been the only person watching Brooks Koepka. Did you see that dude, Michael Block?
Did that hole in one. That was just.
If I ever hit one, that's how I want it to go, because that was incredible, dude. That was awesome. But I mean, good for that dude, kind of making life-changing money with the PGA. And honestly, Koepka's kind of a jerk, so I was happy that his thunder was stolen there. But yeah, awesome PGA, awesome way to finish there for Koepka. I think he had 3 straight birdies down the stretch, which really just had him pull away.
You don't like Brooks?
So yeah, no,
not a Brooks guy.
Not really.
Why, you're anti-live? Is that what it is?
You know it. Let's go.
Oh man, anti-live.
Yeah, dude. I don't stand with the Crown Prince. My bad. So, plus Phil Mickelson's lost his mind. If there is any bad person to kind of go ahead and Trump live or whatever, it's just not him. He's not speaking to me at all. He's a Looney Tune.
Well, Phil's pretty much done. Although, I mean, he was decent at the Masters, but not today. I like Brooks. He's a down to earth guy. I mean, doesn't seem like an asshole unless I'm missing something here. He's a great golfer, and it's a cool story to see him. A couple of years ago, he was on top of it, and then got hurt, struggled the last couple of years, and now he's back and kind of shoving it in the PGA's face right now.
Maybe I associated with too much with Bryson DeChambeau and that whole rivalry that was going on. I don't know. From that, I think he's kind of an asshole. So I don't really root for him anymore. So
you're not the first person I've heard that didn't like that whole feud with the two of them. I mean, I took the side of Brooks over Bryson.
Definitely, but still, it was ridiculous.
It was.
They had it going on for a little while.
It was something. I mean, golf sometimes needs a little spice to it. It's all right. But I was happy about Koepka. He was. I should have pulled the trigger. I was even thinking about taking him on Thursday. Instead, I went Ricky Fowler top 20, and he was cut. So.
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, you might as well quit.
I think I'm
shut down the account.
No picks tonight. I'm not even going to share my thoughts anymore.
Well, I did not take the Guardians or the Mets. So speaking of Sunday Night Baseball, the most vanilla matchup in the world to me. While it's Bieber against Verlander, I just have no interest in watching either of these teams. The Mets have a super clunky lineup, and it feels like the Guardians have no lineup whatsoever. Unless Josh Naylor does something and screams his head off, I'm not too excited about watching them hit. I don't really care for Miles Straw or Stephen Kwan. They're pretty boring. The only guy that I was really interested in watching throughout this game is probably Buck Showalter, to be honest with you. And he had an incredible interview with Buster Olney talking about the pitch clock, acting like an old man. So it was good.
What did he say? He didn't like it? Not a fan?
He said something about there was a double reset. Buster asked him, hey, what was going on? Why were you talking to the ump there? There was some sort of double reset. He said, I'd rather let the players dictate the pace of the game, but it's good for you folks, right? Right back to the reporter. So I was like, all right, there's old guy Buck coming out there. But I'm on the side of him usually, and I think I still stand with him on that. But it is what it is. It's here to stay.
Clock
So
is great, man. Runs are up, games are down. 2.5 hours about.
I
The
just have
action's
this
been
thought that you
good.
might see some of these older managers though kind of be phased out because of it. I don't know. A guy like Buck Showalter, he kind of needs to be able to dictate. I feel like the three batters per inning rule was terrible for him because his shtick was I manage the bullpen really well,
Right.
but. I could see that happening. Some of these older guys getting phased out of the game.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
some minor league promotions, some more Marmals.
yes, Marmals. That looked like a disaster out of the gate, but the Cardinals got a little hot. And then, I mean, a week ago, the Mets and their fans were ready to run Buck Showalter out of town, and now all of a sudden, a couple wins in a row. That's baseball, though. I mean, 162 games.
No,
It's a
dude, that's New
long
York baseball.
season.
Come on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
New York
yeah. But I
baseball.
mean, yeah, yeah. But if you go on Twitter, you see every fan base. I mean, they're up and down with their team. I mean, not that Twitter's the real world anyway. Bunch of crazies on there, but it's it is New York baseball. It's New York sports radio. Talk radio. Just you got to get him out of here. Just you lose four in a row, everything is bad. You win four in a row. Hey, we really got a shot this year. So it's still May. Everybody had their Rays locking up the AL East already, and the Orioles are now what three games back. Yankees have cut it down; they're like six back. It's a long season.
It's gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun, and it's gonna be fun for a long, long time. The dog days of summer may separate some of them, but I was reading about the whole scheduling and the AL East playing everybody else, and I think it's gonna be the top dog division for at least a few years until the rest catches up. So excited to see who comes out of there, but I think pretty much everyone's gonna come out of there.
Yeah, we talked about this a little last week. I think you get four teams from there. I think obviously the division winner, and then all three wild cards. I really think are going to be out of these. I'd be shocked. I mean, the Blue Jays right now are looking terrible, which I'm
I love
enjoying.
beating the Blue Jays. I love
It's the
beating it. It was
best.
eight to two, I think, today, and your boy Mike Bauman got the win.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
John Schneider. Did you see? He had the two mound visits. He accidentally came out the second time, and they had to take Manoah out.
No, I didn't see that.
I mean, just so sweet watching after John Schneider made a whole big deal about Judge and the Yankees and where the first and third base coach is standing and all that complaining. They doesn't even know the rules that have been in place. That's not even a new rule. You can't once the manager comes out for a second time, you got to take the picture. That rule's been around for
Was
a
was
while.
he the one that called him fat boy or frat boy
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
was?
yeah. We still don't know. There's so many debates. There's like either he called Harrison Bader frat boy or Brad Wilkerson fat boy. That's the only guy that people are saying
Brad
could be.
Wilkerson.
Yeah,
Wow. So they've identified the fat guy in the room.
that could be it. Those were the. I've been doing some deep research on who he was talking about, but
Wasn't
yeah,
Brad Wilkerson a Montreal Expo or an
he
Astro or
was
something
he
like
was
that?
an expo, great
Wow.
contact hitter for a while.
Yeah, holy crow. I remember him from one of the baseball video
Yeah,
games that I had a long time ago.
like
Big bad
MVP
Brad
from
Wilkerson.
2005. Yeah,
2005 with Manny Ramirez on the
right, right.
cover.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That was the
Many
one.
many would say one of the best baseball games of all time, if not the best.
It's in the upper echelon,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Been playing a little of the show when I find some actual time, but I can't play online. I can't play that online. It lags. It's not fun. But I'll do my dynasty when I can. It's the video
My
game
thumbs
phase.
don't work that fast anymore. For
Well,
the baseball games have passed me by. Baseball, hockey, they have passed me by. I can still play a little Madden though.
yeah, and you try with FIFA. You're there. You're there for me. Hey, we
Well,
were crushing it the
thanks
other
for
night.
giving me that at least. Oh man, dude, I'm terrible at FIFA. I'm a complimentary player. That's
We
it.
get on a roll every now and then, and it's
I try
fun.
to play off ball as much as possible. If you haven't noticed,
That's a good strategy.
it
Just
definitely
let
is
just give me
for
the
me.
ball. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of how I play Call of Duty too. Just run to the corner, just throw grenades.
It's perfect. That's how Chris Carey plays video games.
That's it. That's it.
So aside from all that, the baseball's been fun. Kept going in, but NBA Heat Celtics game three is going on tonight. First game in Miami. Miami took two in Boston. That
Unreal.
was just and it's incredible just how much I can't stand Boston, City Boston, their sports teams because he just eliminated my Knicks, and I am all in on Jimmy Butler and just enjoying every second of this and going crazy over Max Strus hitting threes, which I was bitching about last round.
I know.
It's just
You,
it
you
is
turncoat.
fun. It is fun to watch, and Jimmy Butler. I mean,
They're up 11 right now. Holy.
they are.
Yeah,
Oh
I know.
man,
I took the
that would be.
Celtics too.
You did. That was.
Yeah, I went Celtics heavy. Me and Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I heard. I heard Charles said it was a must-win for the Heat, even though they're up 2-0.
Must win for. Oh yeah, 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 exactly. I took a couple player props, but I didn't expect this. I kind of thought Boston they have a great away record through the regular season too. Um, they look discombobulated though. The Heat have got to them, whether it's mental, whether it's just their alignments, whatever it is.
Spoelstra, man, we've been saying it.
He's a
Spoelstra.
hell of a good-looking 50-something-year-old too. I think he's like 53 years old. Holy shit! I mean,
Handsome
I want to be
gentleman. He
that.
looks the same. He doesn't seem like he's aged, which is
No,
surprising with some of these coaches. You see them one year and then you see them 2 years later and they look like they've aged 40 years.
he must not be very stressed down in Miami, being 8 seed, be able to walk into the playoffs and do what they're doing right now. It's incredible. I mean, Jimmy is unbelievable. It's like next level. I mean, it's funny because I was thinking today, I was like, there's definitely just like a tier system in the NBA, and you just don't want to like be nipping at the ankles of the stars because they're going to make you pay for it in the playoffs. Whether it was Dylan Brooks with LeBron or what's his face Grant Williams with Jimmy Butler
Yeah,
now.
Williams, man.
I
I
mean,
mean,
you don't want to mess.
of all the guys to just start jawing at Jimmy Butler, Grant Williams, a good defender. He hits some threes. He's a part of the regular rotation for the Celtics, but him compared to Jimmy Butler, it set him off. You could see Jimmy smiling after he hit the three and started talking to him, and then from that point on, it was over. It was done. Jimmy, I don't even know if he missed a shot from that point on.
It's
Maybe one or
incredible.
two, but he was on fire, and they cruised, and up 2-0 could go up 3-0 tonight.
I think they might.
I think they might. I would love it. Nothing would make me happier just to see Boston and their ship go down very quickly.
It's incredible how much you've turned.
Oh, well, I mean, it's always anybody over Boston. It really is. There's select scenarios where maybe I'll root for Boston in a spot, but it's
I'd like to be a part of one of those. One day, call me up and tell me you're rooting for Boston, please.
yeah. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but
I don't think so
it would
either. I
have to
think
be
you
a
just told a lie.
real. It would have to be a real specific scenario where like the Yankees need a win from Boston to get into the playoffs. I
I
think
can see
that
that
might have been the one spot where I've rooted for a Boston team, but
out of necessity.
yeah, but it's just nice. I mean, Tatum, for as good as he played the last game 6 and game 7 against the Sixers, has kind of faded, and that's the Heat. I mean, they know how to take the best players out of the game, and what they Joe Mazzulla, rookie coach, done a great job with Boston, but he's definitely getting outclassed even more than Tibbs did for the Knicks. Spolster's kind of just running circles, I think, around Missoula, and then obviously
For
on the
sure.
court, Butler is doing his thing, and you get guys like Strus and Duncan Robinson nailing threes. It's impressive. It's fun to watch.
It is. It's team basketball. It's organic. It's fun.
Yeah, Charles Barkley was just saying the Heat just playing the game. That's all they're doing. They're not going to wait. And
I
basically,
love
that's
that.
Charles's way of saying like they're not going to waver. They're not going to be caught up in the moment. They're just going to steady game the whole way through, and you have to go and you have to beat them.
To play in the
And
game.
yeah,
I get it.
playing the game.
Me and
Play,
Chuck.
they're playing basketball. Playing basketball. I caught Space Jam on TV on Friday night, so I got sucked into that. And the scene with Charles Barkley where he walks by the basketball court, Basketball Jones starts playing, and he
Yes.
sees the girls
I got the
playing.
basketball
Yeah,
Jones.
and the girl he tries to play, and the girl just like steals the ball away from him. You ain't Charles Barkley.
Probably one of the greatest movie scenes of all time.
That
Definitely.
one of the best movies of all time. But,
Yeah.
speaking of Space Jam, the lesser Space Jam, the star of that movie, LeBron James, him and his team are now down 0-3 to the Nuggets. I called it here. I said Nuggets in 5. It might be Nuggets in 4.
I forget what I said. I think I said Nuggets in 6,
You
but
said 6.
yeah, I mean, you had to know there wasn't enough gas in the tank after that series prior. It took a lot, and it had to be AD, and it's not AD right now. So I don't think the Lakers were really prepared to play the way that the Nuggets were, and I think it's about time to give the Nuggets some credit. I mean, they don't have to go out and sign big free agents. They don't have to do anything like that. They play for their coach. They play as a team. Like, I mean, I'm all in on the Nuggets like you're all in on the Heat right now. I've turned from LeBron lover to Jokic lover, and Jamal Murray advocate as well. So I think that Lakers are just going to lie down here. They might win one more, but probably not. I think the Nuggets move forward, and I think the Nuggets are the best team in basketball, and we got to give them credit.
Yeah, there's no denying it right now. I mean, it's we've seen it. They've with Jokic's MVPs, and they've been the 1 seed before and haven't gotten it done. But now they're kind of established. They're cruising. They're about to roll with the Western Conference Championship, and they're going to be right there in the finals. And if the Celtics make a run, who knows? But I'm ready for Nuggets Heat. I think that'll be an incredible series. But can't get ahead of ourselves yet. I mean, it's Jokic. Jokic is just he's unbelievable. He didn't. He's usually a walking triple double. He didn't even have a triple double. He didn't even have a double double the last game, and they won by what 9. They kind of
The team.
the team. I mean,
Yeah, showing out.
Murray was the guy at 37 points. He was crazy, and Porter 4 for 10 from 3. He Caldwell Pope has been shooting the lights out. He was 4 for 7 from 3. It's impressive.
It's a KCP revenge series, right? That's
That's
why.
right. That's right. That's right. They could use him right now, and the Lakers are just it's Davis, LeBron. You get an Austin Reeves, but like if Hachimura doesn't do anything, you're playing Vanderbilt for his defense. Russell, you said it at the start of the series. D'Angelo Russell's going to have to play really well for the Lakers to compete, and has not happened.
Nope. Nope. He was a catalyst down the stretch for them, and he's just kind of faded. He's just faded a little bit. They needed a point guard. They really did. It can't be LeBron bringing the ball up anymore. He's not. It's not his 20s. He's a complimentary player. He's a floor general. He definitely is, but he's not the guy that's going to make the plays. He doesn't have the quickness anymore.
Just officially lost my Cleveland money line. Mets closed it out there. Oh man, I think I need to just stop.
Close it out. Call the 800 number.
I can't believe I didn't have the balls to just bet Kepka today. There was like 3 times where I would have had a nice win. It was I mean he was in the lead when I was looking, but it was up one like on the 10th hole. It was like minus 150. It was a good bet. Could have put a lot on it, and I was scared off after what he did in the made at the Masters, and just the way I've been betting right now. I did win one bet, and it was the Nuggets. I took Nuggets money line game 3. If the Nuggets are not favored, I'm going to take them. If the Nuggets are underdogs, I'm gonna take them. That's been my best bet so far.
I'd say so. I mean, definitely. You should always go with the 1 seed, right?
Yeah, the fact that they were underdogs in game 3 was silly, and I get it. Like you expect the Lakers to protect home court, blah blah blah. But
Win one.
yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think if they win one, it's going to be maybe tomorrow, but it's going to be Monday. But is it Monday? I don't know if they're spacing out the schedule. Uh, it's
Uh,
Monday night. So I I said my initial guess was Nuggets in 5. So Lakers take one in LA, and then the Nuggets go home, game 5, close it out. I think that
all right.
makes sense.
Put it in the books.
Put it
It's a loss.
in the books.
Rich.
I will have to try to put my money where my mouth is again. It has not worked out for me, but
Mm-mm.
keep it going. Hockey, I honestly, the games have been crazy from what I've seen. Every single game, 4 games so far, every game has gone to overtime. Vegas and Florida are up 2-0. I had the Canes. I really thought they were going to win the cup. They still could, but the whole push behind the Hurricanes is they've been so good at home, and they played Florida really close, and these games were tight. But Matthew Tkachuk once in 4 overtimes, and then in 1 overtime, game winners. It's
What's he call a celebration on the bus in 10? just straight
Oh,
off the
right. He was
ice.
just like, yeah, off the
Let's
ice.
go, let's go, let's go. I love that guy, and dude, I've been wrong as fuck about the NHL. After the first round, I obviously did not expect Carolina to go down 0-2 to the what is it, the eighth seed, Florida Panthers, especially with two games at home like that.
No.
Not really typical of Carolina. And then of course out west, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I can't believe Vegas is still running the table. I was heavy on Edmonton, and maybe that was my bias about the Vegas beating Edmonton pretty handily there, and I just didn't really know what was going on out there. So who knows? I think from where I'm standing, both of those teams are streaking, so it'll be interesting to see them run into each other in the finals if it happens. But hockey has a way of being hockey, and nothing's over until it's over.
Hockey's hockey. That's hockey talk with Chris Carey.
Hockey's hockey, just like me and Charles. I'm telling you, me and Charles, just they're playing the game, right?
Play the game.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
But the games have been crazy. Overtime playoff hockey is fun for sure. I have had a lot going on. I haven't watched a ton of it, admittedly, but I'll watch the closeout games and I'll be ready for the cup for sure.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Tkachuk. That name sounds familiar.
Tkachuk, yeah, his father Keith Tkachuk. He played.
That's his dad?
Yeah,
Oh man, I was
yeah.
thinking like brother, whatever, but that was a long time ago, so that would be silly. But
There's another Tkachuk brother also. Uh,
oh, okay.
yeah, so the Tkachuk family dominating the headlines.
Nothing like a TK to start your last name.
Yeah, I always hated in the old NHL games. I was always like, "Who's this Tkachuk? Tkachuk?" But then once you knew him and he was good in those games too, Keith Tkachuk, their dad, he was just unbelievable. Saw Man City, they won the Premier League. And typical Man City. That's I know your favorite teams there for sure. Those
No,
Saudis just that theme keeps coming up right now. That's the money. The money's winning everything.
I guess so. I mean, I feel I'd like to have a lot of money too. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. I'd love to have a
It's
lot of money in the job security of Brandon Hyde. That's for sure. To go back to baseball managers, but yeah, Man City's my brother's favorite team, and that kind of annoys the heck out of me. So, who'd they beat?
well, the I forget who they beat today to clinch it, but the main storyline was that Arsenal had a huge lead. They had an 8 point lead at the start of April, and it looked like they were cruising. I mean, they were leading most of the way, and as as the football fans say, they bottled it. Complete bottle job, and it's quite enjoyable as a Tottenham fan myself to watch Arsenal just completely
Bottle
ruin
it.
it and just bottle it.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
fantastic.
Bullocks.
Couldn't happen to a better team. I enjoyed that very much, and it's been a rough season for my Spurs. But
Come on, you
come
Spurs.
on, Spurs! It's been a really rough day. I have to find a manager and stick with him. It's been when I first started rooting for them, they had Pochettino. He was their manager, and just every year they were getting better and better. I really started. I think it was 2015 when Kane just was coming up, and that's all I knew for a while. And they just surprisingly got rid of Pochettino, and since then
Sacked him.
yeah, they sacked him, and then they brought in some big names, and it
And
has not
sacked them, right?
sacked them. It's just these guys come in and just it
Bottle it.
hasn't worked out, and people are blaming they're blaming the club, which that seems to be it. It's Levy out, hashtag Levy out. Uh, it's gonna be a rough year. No Champions League football for Tottenham. No Europa League either. Didn't even qualify. So
Oh, what a garbage team. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I hate when they fire a coach, especially when you get that far. It doesn't matter what league, whatever it is. Seems like it's just a message firing, and he's just almost a scapegoat at that point. You get that far, unless it's like, over and over, like you're the Buffalo Bills of the '90s. I don't think it's usually the head coach having that much of an influence, especially in soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. So whatever. But yeah, it seems like you've gone through a few different managers with your Spurs, and I've had to hear a lot about it over the years.
Yeah, well, I gotta complain about something.
Right.
It's the Monday show, and That means another rendition of the good, the bad, and the shitty. We have our goods, we have our bads, and we most certainly have our shitties. This past week, there's been a lot of sports going on, and we wanted to point out our top three. So, Chris, who you got this week?
I'll start with my good, as always. My good is definitely Christopher Morel. Christopher Morel is an incredible baseball player. I'm convinced that guy is a Hall of Famer already. He was a pickup that we had on our joint team. The dude homers every at bat. It's incredible. He is breaking the PR7, PR15 player ranks on ESPN. He is absolutely incredible, and I'm convinced that he might not just be a good, he might be a great. Hopefully, I didn't just steal yours.
Wow, could be a great. You did not steal mine, but that is a great one. He's homered in four straight games. I'm
It's every
worried.
at bat. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
worried about when the other shoe's going to drop, but at this point, I think it's just never gonna. I think he's just a
He's
great.
eligible at every position on the diamond, too. It's ridiculous.
Well, outfield in second, but yeah, not quite every one, but
The ones that you need him at.
well, yeah, exactly. So, who's your bad?
My bad. I hate to do this, but my bad, I think, is going to be Gunnar Henderson. Right now, Gunnar Henderson is a bad, and he's holding the Orioles back. I'd much rather see Urias in the lineup with his Gold Glove defense. I love Gunnar Henderson, and I think he is the next best thing to happen to the Orioles, but dude needs a little more seasoning in the minors, probably. He's really been a hole in the lineup for the O's, and there's been signs of life, but it's like a blip on the screen, and then it goes away. So right now, currently, Gunnar Henderson is a bad.
He's no Anthony Volpe, that's for sure. Not quite as good.
Wow. Yeah, no.
Just won't ever quite be as good. Yeah.
Currently, no. Don't say ever. No, he's gonna be a good. He's gonna be a great. Just currently a bad.
He might be
So
good one day, just not quite as good as Anthony Volpe.
he's got a hell of a name though, Gunnar. Love
That
it.
is a great name. That is a great
Love
name.
it. But we got a couple guys down in the minors too. Jordan Westberg, I would love to see him up, get a shot. And of course, Mateo and Urias have been great at the major league level too. So, I mean, I don't know
Say
why you
great.
get more minor league at bats.
I wouldn't say great.
They've been decent.
Mateo and Urias have been great at the major league level.
Jorge Mateo has been a fantasy stud, dude. This is
Not
stolen
the last
bases
couple
last year.
weeks.
Well, he was hurt, dude. He was
He
hurt.
was hurt.
Yeah, come on, give the guy a break. Give the guy a break.
Former Yankee farmhand.
Is that right?
That's right. Pretty sure the last time I told you that, you were like, "What?" No.
Yeah, it happens. I tend to forget. But anywho, that leads me to my shitty. My shitty is Phil Mickelson. I told you, Phil Mickelson has always been a shitty to me. He always will be a shitty, and he's going to be a shitty just forever and ever. I cannot stand Phil Mickelson. I think he's crazy. I thought he was, I never liked him back when he was popular with everybody, and the dude finished 10 over at the PGA. So stick a fork in him. Phil Mickelson is done.
I'm gonna have to censor that for my father and a whole lot of middle-aged left-handed golf fans.
Yeah, just because he's a lefty. That's it. That's the only reason.
Lefties are great. He's
Phil
lefty.
Mickelson didn't win a major for years. He had like a great couple years. Everybody loves him. And now Phil Mickelson is a lunatic. He's an absolute lunatic. So 10 over at the PGA. He's a shitty. He's my shitty. Phil Mickelson. Sorry, buddy.
Wow, goes after lefty. I'm upset with that, but you know what? I'll let it slide. It's all right. We all have a good, we all have a bad, and we all have a shitty. And I have mine. I'm going to start off with a good and a great. We talked about him before. I'm going Jimmy Butler. I got to give the man the credit. He is the best right now. I think I saw this on Twitter, somebody saying, he's the closest we have right now to the Jordans and the Kobes, those killer instincts, those guys. And once you get him going, once he's riled up, he doesn't miss. And those are the stories that everybody loves to hear. Those stories about Jordan. Anybody tried to trash talk him, and then he would just go off. And there's that whole theory that Jimmy Butler is an unknown son of Michael Jordan, which is absolutely incredible. If you haven't seen that one, got to look it up and then read into it. The side by side images, It's hysterical, and hey, you never know. You never know. There's a legit story behind it, so it's fun to watch right now. I hope that the Hemi Butler story keeps going on to the finals. He is a certified great right now. My bad. Going to baseball. Matt Chapman. This guy has had he had an absolutely incredible April and has done the complete opposite in May. In his April, he went March April. He had 5 homers, 21 RBIs, and a slash line, 384 batting average, 465 on base percentage, 687 slugging. He was I think he might have won Player of the Month. He was one of the best hitters in baseball. Since then, 18 games in May, hitting 183, no home runs. Well, sorry, he homered today.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna
to
say no
update
home
that,
runs.
his first 19 games, 1 home run. These lines probably not updated, but he's hitting under 200. He has been incredibly bad, and his overall numbers still look good. He's still hitting over 300, which because of the great start he had, but it's kind of been embodied within him the collapse of the Blue Jays right now, and I'm enjoying every second of him. Aside from the fact that I have Chapman in, I think, a couple leagues,
Well, I
and
mean, last year
it's
he
been a
hit
good pick.
229. You can't really expect him to be that, that
No, but the
good. But
power hasn't been there. Nothing's been there.
dude lacks
The last
confidence. That's what I'm saying.
well, Toronto's shattered once Judge came back. I mean, they can't handle it. Can't take the heat, and that's just a fact. And my shitty, I mean, you went after an icon, and I'm going after an icon as well. My shitty is LeBron James.
Wow.
Down
What have you done for me
0-3,
lately?
down 0-3 in the Western Conference Finals. Missed a wide open dunk, and what's the narrative been? Is LeBron James, is the age finally catching up to him? That's been the hot narrative. And you know what I mean? He's obviously not the same guy right now, and his numbers have been okay. I mean, he's going to score over 20 points a game for the Lakers, and if he doesn't, the Lakers will lose by 40. But his numbers are not great. He was -6 in game one, -4 in game three. That dunk was quite a moment, and it's interesting to watch, and I think it's fully on LeBron. And he's going to play until he gets to play with Bronny. So we'll see him a bit, but he's petering out right now. He is playing like a shitty. It's a sad day.
So Phil Mickelson and LeBron James are our shitties. I just want to highlight that.
Couple iconic old men. That's what they are.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Just retire.
Not at their best.
No.
Well, I think that's really all we got for today. Chris, you want to send us out?
Yeah, one last big shout out. Been following all season because of my father. Big shout out to Army Lacrosse. Unranked, making a big run in the NCAA lacrosse tournament. Young and hungry, and the future leaders of our nation. Go Army! I think it ends up as Virginia Duke, as is traditional with lacrosse. But we got Virginia Duke, Hopkins, and Penn State ended Army's run. So big shout out to West Point. Go America!
Wow. Is that tournament over, or where are they at?
Still going. That was the Elite Eight.
Elite Eight. Wow.
Mhm.
All right. Final Four, men's lacrosse. That's what we all live for, baby.
There we go.
I'm ready. I think Marist, my Red Foxes made the tournament. I'm pretty sure they got destroyed in their first game, but good to see.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, I think you did. But hey, go Army! I'm all with you there. All right, bud. Always a pleasure. Good talking to you, and I'll catch you later.
Sounds good, man. Hasta luego.
Everyone have a great week.